From KPRC2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
You know, it doesn't take much to see that our nation is divided politically in ways that we haven't seen in generations, if ever. The question is, how can we make progress if the extreme elements of the parties are creating very little middle ground where polls show that most Americans ideologically reside? Good morning. We've been talking about this growing divide for quite some time with Bill King, the former Kemah mayor and candidate for Houston mayor. He put his action behind his words. He became the Texas chair of the Serve America movement and now Texas chair of the Forward Party movement, an organization created to provide another option besides the traditional parties. David Jolly, former Republican congressman from Florida who left that party to serve the Serve America movement. Now comes word that Serve America is now merging with two other organizations to hopefully offer other options to voters. Bill, let's talk to you first. By the way, I should let people know that Bill is joining us via vacation somewhere in Europe. So if he's not as beautiful as he normally is, the picture is the fault and he's from far away. Thank you, Bill, for taking this time to talk about this. Trying to do this, how does this change what's going on in the state of Texas? You've already had a lot of work on the ground in Texas to get the Serve America movement certified and getting ready. What does a change and a merger does it do for the progress you're making in the state?
Well, the three organizations each had supporters in Texas, Renew America, the Forward Party, and the SAM Party, and now we've just merged all those folks together. And I think that the attention that this has gotten has just, everybody you talk to, except for the far extremes, they want a third alternative that's somewhere more towards the middle of the political spectrum. They just don't think it's viable. And all of a sudden, people are beginning to realize, hey, this is a real deal. It's really viable. I was mentioned before we came on air, we have a big convention set for September 24th, and the registration jumped from 200 to 500 in the first 72 hours after the merger was announced.
Congressman Jolly, talk about the announced merger, the other organization that'll be joining. How did that come about, and what your overall goal is going to be?
Yeah, this process is almost a year in the making. And what I will tell you, you said in the intro, we know the market demand is there, right? 40% of the country says, I don't see myself in either major party. Gallup says over 60% of America says we need a new choice. And so the market demand's there. What these three organizations did is really make history coming together from the right, the left, and the middle. The Renew America movement is a group of largely disaffected Republicans. The Forward Party, disaffected Democrats led by Andrew Yang. The Serve America movement here in Texas now for over a year is really about the center. So we made history, and that's the important thing. Cambrell, it's a different kind of party. It's not a party that says you must believe in these things from a top-down national platform. It actually empowers people in Texas to elevate the views of your community and your own personal ideology. Now, a lot of people say, look, we need a centrist party. Maybe that's true. But what we really need is a party big enough to accommodate people's politics, whether it's left, right, or middle, so long as we're brought together by some basic shared values of moving the state of Texas and moving the country forward. That's what you're going to find in the new Forward Party of Texas.
So we saw a couple of elections this past week that may add fuel to the conversation that we're talking about this morning. In Arizona, for example, we saw candidates who've been unabashed election deniers. They just say, denied it didn't happen, were able to win primaries, and now will put them potentially in positions to impact future elections there. While over in Kansas, voters went to the polls in numbers really against the plan to give legislators the final say about abortion rights in their state. And that's an outcome that reflects what the national polls say, but not what many actions of Republican state houses are doing. Congressman Jolly, are those the kinds of outcomes that you point to as proof for the need for the Forward Party?
It is. Look, the two major parties have really built into our political system incentives to race to the far left and the far right. And what we know is that leaves most of America behind. And so what you will see in a new Forward Party, frankly, is where the majority of Texans and the majority of Americans lie. And we talk about three basic premises to our party: economic opportunity for all people, personal freedom, and fundamental defense of democracy. So where we see deniers of truth, election deniers emerge, you won't find those in the Forward Party. And when you see a party push policy prescriptions that are out of step with mainstream America, you won't find that in the Forward Party. We're the home for the majority of voters in Texas, the majority of voters across the country.
Bill, how concerned are you about the future of our democracy in general, the way things have been trending in this country? And with what you're seeing now, how optimistic are you that you and the Forward Party can really make a difference? Because third-party movements in this country traditionally have not worked well.
Yeah, so, look, I am alarmed about the current situation, because what happens is these parties get smaller and smaller bases. It's going to become apparent to them that they can't consistently win elections. And I think that's when they start resorting to these extra legal means to try to keep control of the government, because they know that they're going to lose elections every couple of years. And it's just because the big part of the middle of the country is going and saying, you know what, I need to go and vote for the lesser of two evils. I think that, what we're hearing on the ground everywhere is that people are dying for a rational alternative, people that speak truth, that have accountability, a civil conversation, that just because you and I disagree about something, I don't have to hate you. And that pragmatic problem solving is more important than ideology. That's what the American people, and I think Texans, are hungry for, and neither party is giving that to the American citizens or to Texans right now.
Congressman Jolly, my understanding is you're planning to run candidates under the new party banner. And so my question is to you, what are you hearing from potential candidates for the Forward Party? And how is it too late to really make an impact for 2024?
So we have a plan to be recognized as a political party in 15 states by the end of this year, 35 next year, and 50 by 24. And that's important to say we're chasing party status as opposed to simply trying to run candidates. We're actually building a durable, viable, sustainable party infrastructure for elections to come. Now, not only do we have people coming our way saying, hey, I want to run under the Forward banner, Cambrell, we have sitting office holders today saying, you know what, I might consider switching over to the Forward Party in my state. We have targeted 500 sitting elected office holders to convert in the first 12 months. The question on 22 is an important one. It's largely a factor of Texas state law. We are not eligible as a newly formed political committee in Texas to elevate Forward-affiliated candidates in 22. So viewers and voters will not see Forward Party candidates on their ballot in 22. You may see some independent candidates, but you'll certainly see them in 24.
Bill, final thought from you in terms of the timeline and your hopes for what's going to happen in the state of Texas, especially since there's a big kickoff in this state in Houston.
Right. So our goal right now is to, as David said, is to get on the ballot in Texas in 2024. And Texas makes it very difficult for third parties to get on the ballot. But once you get on the ballot, then you are able to nominate anybody for any elected office in Texas that's a state or federal race. So we could nominate somebody from president. We could nominate somebody for Bexar County District Attorney to, Dallas County Judge. We can nominate any office in the state once we achieve that threshold of ballot access, which we are planning to do for 24.
I said the last question, but I got to go back to you. David, any regrets about what's happening with your party? I mean, you were a congressman, you were a proud member of the GOP, and now you've left, and that's in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, look, a lifelong Republican who took a journey many have, perhaps recognizing I became out of step with the party, then thought I could save it, and then realized there's really not an opportunity to change the course of the former GOP that I belong to. Here's the important thing, Cambrell, about the Forward Party. We actually celebrate independent thought. And when I left the Republican Party, I could have joined the Democratic Party. But the flaw that I believe they share is all parties today crush independent thought. We want that independent thought. We want the answers to move Texas and America forward, whether it comes from the left, right, or the middle. That is the compass of my politics. It's why I could not find a home in the major parties, but I have in the Forward Party. I hope all Texans will give us a look.
David Jolly, Bill King, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. We'll be watching for your progress. Thank you this morning. Have a great rest of your vacation, Bill. Send us pictures.
Thanks.